Good evening, everyone. It's currently 10:48 in the evening. I'm Jullia and Angeline B. Aligado, and this is my first ever YouTube video. Good evening once again, guys. So time check, it's already 10:57 in the evening. For tonight's video, I am going to make a critic about a novel that made its big way to the big screens, and that is The Count of Monte Cristo. The Count of Monte Cristo is originally written by a French novelist and playwright, Alexandre Dumas, on 1844 in France. The novel's genre is adventure, a moralistic tale, and most especially a romantic novel. It was first published serially at August 1844 up to January 1846. The novel takes place during the years following the fall of Napoleon's empire. Though most of the action takes place in Paris, key scenes are set in Marquisate, Rome, Monte Cristo, Greece, and Constantinople. The novel revolves around its themes: the limits of human justice, relative versus absolute happiness, and love versus alienation.
Good, you finally hit something.
Being your friend is always an adventure.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Edmond Dantes had a promising future.
Hey!
And a love
I missed you so.
that any man would envy.
As soon as I can afford the ring, we'll
I don't
wed.
need a ring. I don't.
You are under arrest by order of the magistrate of Marseille.
I demand an explanation. It was you? Why are you doing this? It's complicated.
I didn't quite understand why you were betraying him, but now, having seen his exquisite fiancée, I understand completely.
I am innocent.
We inform Mercedes that Edmond Dantes has been executed.
My advice, take solace in the comfort of your good friend.
You were a soldier. Teach me the knife, the sword.
Good. Too good.
His book of escape.
In return for your help, I offer something priceless. The treasure of Monte Cristo. Follow the clues.
You are wealthier than any man I have ever heard of. What do you want to buy?
Revenge. I will change my identity. I shall become a count.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Count of Monte Cristo.
Count on revenge.
Death is too good for them. They must suffer as I suffered. I'm a count. Not a saint.
The Count of Monte Cristo.
The classical novel is all about a young man who is innocent but is wrongly and deliberately imprisoned, and also his brilliant strategy of revenge to those who betrayed him. A young sailor named Edmond Dantes, who is played by Jim Caviezel, is a guileless and honest man whose peaceful life and plans to marry the beautiful Mercedes was shattered abruptly by his best friend Fernand, who is portrayed by Guy Pearce, who wants Mercedes all to himself, deceive him. If we dig in deeper into the novel and not just base our own perspectives on the movie that we saw, we could clearly see that the tone of the narrator is detached from the story, relating the events as they happen. And if we took a clear notice on the novel, we could see that the narrator speaks in the third-person point of view, focusing almost entirely on outward action and behavior rather than delving into psychological realities of the characters. There are three motives that the novel is giving us. First is names, second is suicide, and third is politics. If we pay attention to both movie and novel, we could see that there are similar situations and events that we could say that is still prominent in our generation today. First, let's start with the women. Women in the novel possess unique personalities, but intensely similar restrictions. Feminist analysis of this book reveals the ways of the time and the delicate balance of society's typical structure. In the Count of Monte Cristo, Alexandre Dumas realistically conveys that when women break their traditional roles, the balance of life is disrupted. This is evident through descriptions of instances in which females are in the home as well as when they are not. Alexandre Dumas has created a timeless classic due to the nature of the story. It manages to stay actual even today. Anyway, this is a very good example for the Marxist theory. For the reason that we can see that it is a rivalry between the poor and the rich, and the strong and the weak. The novel shows us how huge the gap between the people living in the upper class of society and those people living in the lower class of society, which up until now is still evident. Ever since this conflict between the two classes in society was so prominent, it was always easier for the rich to get what they want, but it is always harder for the poor to climb their way to reach the top. In a nutshell, we could say that both movie and novel are mirrors. Why? Because they reflect the conflicts in our society that we are currently facing, and those conflicts that we can give specific solutions for them to be prevented. Just like, for example, those conflicts that we have with women. The society are giving them standards, rules that they needed to do for them to be accepted in society. Those standards and rules that they need to live by. Second is with those people living in the higher class of society and those people who are living in the lower class of society. There is this huge gap between them. There is no solution for us to put in between to cover up those gaps. Third is for those people who are taking for granted those people who are inferior to them, thinking that they should be dogs who would keep on doing their will to do what they want them to do. We could really see that the movie and novel is really reflecting what we are experiencing today, what we are currently experiencing today, and we cannot deny the fact that what the novel or the movie shows us is true, because it is really evident in our society.